Hi, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I'm so glad you're here. We are actually on week 3 of our series that we started called Bible Verses to Live By. A few weeks ago, when we started the series, we laid the foundation and we read Joshua 1:8, which is Moses speaking to the Israelites. They've wandered around the wilderness for many years. They're getting ready to go into the promised land. And before they do, Moses tells them, he says, "Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful." So we are going to take that advice and we're applying it to our lives in this series. And today we're actually going to get into a verse that is often referred to as the golden rule. Luke chapter 6 verse 31, it says, "Do to others as you would have them do to you." That is the verse we're going to study today. And I have Mr. Paul has prepared a little lesson for you. He's done some research to help us understand the entire context of that verse, when it was written, who said that, you'll see who, when did he say it, why did he say it, who did he say it to, where was he when he said it. Paul's going to tell us all of that in just a moment. Before he does though, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. We like to know who's watching with us, who's joining us on this lessons. And also feel free to give us a comment. I would love to hear from you. I would love to pray with you if you have any prayer requests, okay? So I'm Trish. I'm from New Day Christian Church in Eastville, California, and we are so glad you're joining us. Here is Paul with today's lesson.
All right, as Trish said, our verse this week is Luke chapter 6, verse 31. Now, something I've learned about studying the Bible is that you really should never just read a Bible verse, but you should really look at the whole entire context. So I want to read for you the broader passage. It starts in verse 27. It goes through 36. Now, my Bible's a little bit different, so see if you can find this week's verse in what I'm about to read. "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who strikes you on the one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back." Here it is. "And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful." Well, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I've learned about studying the Bible is that we can use the word legacy to summarize how we should study the context. So the word legacy, the letter L stands for location. Like, where did this take place? And verse 17 of this passage tells us, or in this chapter tells us, that it took place on a level place. Some scholars think it was kind of like a flattened hill. Okay, that's why it's called the Sermon on the Mount. The E stands for essence, like what's the main point? And again, this is from Jesus' most famous sermon, the Sermon on the Mount, or the sermon on this low hill, this kind of rounded hill. And then genre, this is from the Gospel of Luke, which is like a biography of Jesus, like a narrative of Jesus' story or his life. And then the author is Luke. This is the A in the word legacy. Luke was not a disciple of Jesus, but he was a close friend or an associate. So chapter 1, verse 3 of the Gospel of Luke actually says that Luke researched, he did his homework, and he found out the facts about Jesus' life. And then the C in the word legacy is context, or the cultural context. And, earlier in this chapter, Jesus was getting into some conflicts with some of the religious leaders because he was working on the Sabbath, healing on the Sabbath, and he was kind of having some arguments with some religious leaders about that. And then comes along this teaching about love. So interesting how he goes from like an argument to talking about love. Okay, and then the Y in the word legacy is years. Now, this account right here of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount took place when he was about 31 years old, but the book of Luke was actually written in about 60 AD, about 30 years after Jesus' life and resurrection. So now we have some background on this. How do we apply it? What do we take from it? Well, this was a really controversial teaching on love. Okay, to love one's enemies, that was, or love those who, to love those who persecute you and your enemies and so on, to give, to give to those who can't really give back, that was pretty controversial. People back then just thought, oh, I love people who are like me, who look like me, talk like me, dress like me, And Jesus saying, no, you love everyone. And I think what's kind of interesting about this teaching is that Jesus puts the responsibility on you. You, as in all of us. He doesn't say, well, if someone's mean to you, go ahead, be mean back to them. He's saying, no, even if they're mean to you, you still love them. It's up to you to love them. Show them how you want to be treated, okay? So something to think about. So if you got a friend or something like that, or someone's being mean to you, don't say, well, they're treating me bad, I guess I get to treat them bad. No. Jesus is saying, nope, the responsibility is still on you. You love them how you treat them how you want to be treated. You love them because you want them to love you back, all right? So give that some thought. Is there someone you're having trouble loving? Is there someone you're having trouble treating the way you want to be treated? Give it some thought. Let's pray. God, help us to remember this passage. Help us to apply it. Your word, it really convicts us, and we love it, and we praise you. Amen. Back to you, Trish.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paul. That was a great explanation and history of what was going on when Jesus told his followers that they should treat others the way they want to be treated. It's not about treating other people how they deserve to be treated. It's not about treating other people how we feel like treating them, but we treat them with the same love and compassion and kindness that we want people to treat us. That is the top rule to live by. And even people who don't follow Christ understand the value of this rule because they want people to treat them good. And so it is one of the most valuable lessons that God teaches us, that Jesus teaches us. And so to help us remember the golden rule, we are going to do a craft. I love craft time. I hope you guys enjoy them too. I'm going to make a coloring sheet for you guys. I'll write out the Bible verse and then I'll make it available. So if you guys want to do this coloring sheet at home, you can find it on our Facebook page, which is the New Day Eastvale Kidmin page. Okay, so I'll make that available. If you're not watching this on Facebook and you're watching it on YouTube, hop on over to Facebook and I'll post it up there for you. Okay, let's do it. All right, so there we have a coloring sheet with this verse, and I'll make this available on our Facebook page if you want to color this in, or if you would like to do this other craft I have for us. What you'll need is some rulers. Wooden rulers work best, I think, as well as some other decorations. I've got pins and some paints. I even have gold paint, which is what I think I'm going to use today because it is a golden rule. But if you want to use any color paint, you can. Okay, I'm going to leave the numbers on the front and I'm just going to paint the back. I think I'm going to stop there. I like mine to look a little bit like royalty, you know, with the jewels and the gold, because Jesus is my king and his teachings rule my life. So this will help us remember the golden rule. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Luke 6:31. All right, that's our verse. I hope you do your craft and I hope you share it with us. Okay, see you next time. All right, wasn't that a fun craft? I hope that you guys will take some time to do the same activity at home. You know, you could change it up, use different materials if you want to. But what I really would love is if you took a picture of your craft. If you write out the golden rule, if you write it on a ruler, or if you just draw a picture of a ruler and write it on the paper, take a picture of it, post it in the comments so we can all see them and see what you guys are up to. Thank you again for spending time with us today. I hope that you are blessed and encouraged to be kind and love other people, even the ones who are hard to love. Join us next week. We're going to continue this series. I've got a whole list of Bible verses that I can't wait to study and memorize with you guys. Again, give this video a thumbs up. We are from New Day Christian Church in Eastville, California, and we would love to hear from you. So be sure to say hi. All right, have a great week and I'll see you soon.